Hi, everybody, and welcome to Observing with Webb for September of 2021. My apologies. We have been experiencing some technical difficulties here with the beginning of school. The computer's not necessarily lining up with the recording software, and just a whole lot of stuff going on at the beginning of this school year. So my apologies for this being late, but we're going to keep going, and I'm using new software. So if things look different, and that's why, okay? And hopefully I can get this out. I don't know how the editing is going to go, but at least we've got the information there for you, which is really why I do this, okay? So anyway, this is Observing with Webb, where a high school astronomy teacher tells you what to look for in the night sky, why it's so cool, and what you should check out later in the month. So September is actually pretty short. Pretty small in terms of astronomical stuff. But today, when I'm recording this, September 10th, we've got a pretty cool thing going on already. And that would be Venus and the Moon, and also Jupiter and Saturn. So let's start off talking about the planets. So first of all, we've got Venus off over here in the west, okay? And Venus is going to be off in the west for the entire month. It's going to stay about 10 degrees above the horizon all month. And I don't know, it's just going to be really, really nice, really bright, really good to see if you don't have any clouds in the way. Also going on at night this month, we have over on the other side toward the southeast, Jupiter and Saturn. Okay. So these are our gas giants of the solar system, and they're going to rise in the southeast and move south and southwest throughout the night. Okay, and in the beginning of the month, they're going to be more in the southeast. If I go a little bit later in the month, September 30th, they're going to be a little bit higher and a little bit more toward the south. But basically, throughout the night, let me fast forward time a bit here, they're going to rise up and get a little higher in the south. And then after midnight, they're going to eventually set in the southwest. Now, in the beginning of the month, Saturn sets at 4 a.m. and Jupiter at 5:30. And then by the end of September, Saturn and Jupiter set in the southwest at about 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. respectively. So they're not totally throughout the night, but they're pretty much throughout the night, but they're not in the morning. So, in summary, for the planets, get out there and look for Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter. Now, as far as the moon goes and events, as you can see here on September 10th, we have a nice crescent moon over here with Venus. Okay. Now, that means that we're looking at the evening crescents at this point here. And you just have to look west after sunset. The first quarter moon is on the 13th. Then you've got a week of evening gibbous moons. Then the full moon is on the 20th when it's fully lit up for the entire night. And you also have the waning gibbous moons after that, which are mostly lit, but they rise later at night. And then the last quarter moon is on the 28th. That's when it's visible from midnight and into the morning. Now, as far as the actual events go, well, here you go. The 10th, you've got the moon and Venus right next, well, not right next to each other, but right near each other in the night sky. And if you watch this, you know that the moon kind of follows this green line called the ecliptic throughout the month. So if I move forward a day, you see the moon gets thicker and it moves closer to Saturn and Jupiter. And that's what I wanted to talk about. On the 15th, you've got Jupiter, Saturn, and the moon kind of lining up pretty well right there. And then on the 16th, the moon is right below Saturn. Then on the 17th, it's below but kind of in between. Below Jupiter, but kind of near Saturn. And then on the 18th, it's kind of saying goodbye, still lining up with Saturn and Jupiter. And then on the 19th, still kind of lined up, but much further apart. That's just about it. The only other thing we got going on is the September 22nd fall equinox, which is when half of the Earth is, all of the Earth gets 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of nighttime. All right, let's move on to some constellations. So, as always, I recommend skymaps.com to help you out. But let's start off let's go with after dinner. Let's go like 8 p.m. What you're looking for here, actually, I would say look south. See if you can find Sagittarius, which has that teapot asterism right here. And up in this area, if you have binoculars, you can see some really cool faint fuzzies. And in fact, there are 7 easily visible clusters and nebulas kind of coming up, like steaming out of the teapot. Okay, that's just fun to explore around, especially if you have dark skies. The other thing to look for is the summer triangle, where you've got, here we go, Cygnus, Lyra, and Aquila. There's Lyra with its bright star Vega, Cygnus with its bright star Deneb, and Aquila with its bright star Altair. This big triangle in the night sky is really neat to find. Yeah, that's basically about it. If you do look a little toward the east, you can see Pegasus kind of rising up there. But let's talk about the morning. Okay, so let's go to, let's see. All right, throughout the night, let's get up around 5 in the morning. What you're looking at is, well, you can start seeing Orion in the morning now. If you're up at 5:20, you can see Orion the Hunter coming up. Also, I would recommend look north. So turn around. Here we go. And look north, and way up high, you should be able to find pretty easily Cassiopeia, the Queen. Just look north, tilt your head almost all the way up, and you'll see the 5 bright stars right there that make up the Queen. You can see that this one on the left, this angle here, is a little bit left or a little bit less than a right angle. And this angle is a bit obtuse. So it's right and obtuse right next to each other. All right. That is it for the month of September. Again, I'm working with some new stuff here. If you have any ideas or concerns, feel free to voice them. Let me know. But yeah, don't forget that this is found in podcast format on Podbean, mrwebb.podbean.com, also on Stitcher and iTunes. This is on YouTube, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook as @MrWebbPV or PV Planetarium. So with that, I'd like to wish you all very clear, dark skies for the month of September.